We are continuing our Meet the Candidates interviews, and today I have Stark County Common Pleas Court Judge Natalie Haupt. How are you
I'm
today?
great. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Of
We
course.
appreciate it. So for folks who maybe are just meeting you today, let's say, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I have been in that court as in a judicial role for over 21 years. I started my career as an assistant public defender and then began as a magistrate in Common Pleas Court in 2003. And I worked in that capacity for over 15 years, working on the same cases and the same docket where I work now. And then in 2018, I ran for an open seat vacated by Judge John Haas and upon his retirement, and then I won that seat. So I'm in my 6th year now as a common pleas judge.
And did you grow up in this area, I would
I did
imagine?
not. I grew up outside of Cleveland in a small town on the east side. Chesterland's a pretty small town. I grew up there, but I met my husband, Jason, in law school. I graduated from Ohio State University with my undergrad and then went to Case Western Reserve School of Law. And that's where I met my husband, Jason, who's also an attorney, obviously. And when we began our practices, we decided to come to Stark County, raise our family here, and have been here ever since.
Talk about when you took over for Judge Haas, because that was kind of an emotional thing for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was, because and to this day he's still an important figure in my life. Working very closely with him for over 15 years. You work very closely with your magistrate. Learning from each other, frankly, and bouncing ideas off each other, talking about the law, and we became very close. So it was a bittersweet moment because I enjoyed working as his magistrate for that time, but it prepared me well for when I did take over the role. I could hit the ground running from day one. I knew the cases. I knew, of course, you're always learning and getting better each day, but I think it was very good training for me.
Yeah. So over the years, how much have you seen change, when it comes to sitting on the bench and watching the folks come through?
When you mean change, I would say there might be a perception that when we have, all our cases, everybody's going to prison, and of course, the most serious cases, people are going to prison, and that's more than appropriate in a large number of cases. But there has been probably, in the last decade or so, more of a rehabilitation and treatment when necessary, so that the folks who are going to be in the community or people who are coming back into the community, we can provide them with services. So maybe a change in that mindset, because frankly, the state doesn't want everybody in prison. So we as a community have worked to provide those services with our specialized dockets, with our probation department, a lot of different services that we provide. So it's very comprehensive.
And like the honors court, that's another one that is relatively new, isn't it?
It is. We have 4 specialized dockets here in Stark County. We have the traditional chance drug court with Judge Farmer. Judge Heath oversees the honor court. Judge Hartnett oversees our reentry court for folks who are returning from prison on release. And then I oversee the drug domestic violence court. So all of those are specialized dockets certified by the Ohio Supreme Court. Mine is one of only 4 such courts in the state of Ohio.
And all those judges that you just named are women. Is Stark County one of? Yeah, I don't really like the makeup of the court like that.
It's shifted from when I first started. There was only Judge Leoy was the only female judge, and then now it is Judge Verschote is the only male there. I don't know that for certain. I know Summit County has, I think, an all-female bench in the Common Pleas General Division, if I recall correctly.
Okay. So what led you to decide that you wanted to leave your practice and become a judge?
Well, I'd always wanted to be in public service, and I have been. I started as an assistant public defender, and that's something I'm very proud of, that I've devoted my career to public service, and I also take that responsibility very seriously. the chance to become a magistrate was too good of an opportunity to not take, and I loved that role. And then seeing the work that judges could do to help people, to bring justice to victims, I gravitated toward that and have truly enjoyed that position.
Any one case that stands out in your mind? I don't. Yeah.
You know, there are so many cases that you have where you're making tough decisions, sometimes unpopular decisions. Those cases stick out in my mind, trying to do the right thing. But again, having 21 years of judicial experience, it's a skill set I've acquired, a gut, a consistency that I think I makes me uniquely qualified for the job. You know, when you have a high stakes case and a victim is satisfied with the outcome, that's rewarding. Likewise, I'll be in the community. I'll have jurors say, you know, that was a really good experience. I didn't want to be on jury duty, but I really enjoyed that. I learned a lot. I'm happy to have been part of the system. And then one of the most rewarding aspects is when I'll be, whether I was at the fair and somebody said, thank you for giving me a chance. I got treatment. I'm clean. I've turned my life around. I'm working. You know, those kinds of things that happen. Those stick with you.
Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. That's great. So everyone who's listening or watching, why should they vote for you?
Well, it is that experience, I think, that makes me best qualified for the job. Again, it's a skill set I've acquired over that time. A judge, everybody who's running for a judge is going to say they're fair, but I believe I have a demonstrated record of fairness. I'm the only candidate in this race to receive the highly recommended rating from the Stark County Bar Association. That means a great deal to me. Those are my peers. Those are the lawyers who come before me. They know me. They know how they're treated in the courtroom, how their clients are treated in the courtroom. Likewise, I've been endorsed by the Stark County Association for Justice, trial lawyers who know what I'm doing. I think everybody who comes before me, you know, they're not going to like the outcome, of course. And always one side's going to be unhappy, but if they believe that there's a level playing field there when they walk in the door, they're going to be treated with respect at all times. That's important. I also have, I think a good judge has the right temperament. We're necessarily in contentious situations. I've always been in a neutral role. I can be, at least professionally, slow to anger. I don't know that I'd be the most entertaining TV judge. You know, I'm no Judge Judy, but I think I can bring a certain calm and temperament to the courtroom that I think is very valuable.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Okay.